Hey guys, it is the 21st of December, 21st day of Vlogmas. I'm on my way into work. I'm driving today because there's another team that really needed some help today because they are busy. So I'm going to be helping them out. So I'm traveling a little bit here, there, and everywhere, and it's just much more efficient when I'm in the car. So I'll be driving around today. I don't imagine there'll be a ton to show you, but like I said before, you never know what you're going to see, and I will show you whatever I can. I just left a visit of a really lovely Greek couple who insisted that I take some homemade Christmas treats with me as I left. I feel like it's such a wonderful thing to get to go to people's houses this time of year and see their decorations, hear a little bit about their festive traditions. And on days like today, I get to try their own country's Christmas treats, which is just such a lovely thing. I'm out doing some visits, and sometimes you see some decorations. You just have to capture them because they are pretty amazing. So I am making that journey on home. It ended up being a busier day than I expected. Because one of the other teams needed help, I agreed to do some of the visits for them, but I also agreed to take their phone, manage their phone. And so I ended up having my own phone, and I was getting messages from family, which is nice, but you know, I am trying to work. I was also getting messages on my work phone and also my team phone and another team's phone. So for most of the day, I was managing 4 different phones, which is stressful at the best times. But on top of that, I was busy and trying to cover a lot of visits. So, you know, it was just one of those days, guys. It was one of those days where I'm happy to be out the other end. And I'm happy that tomorrow is my last work day before Christmas. I can get myself through, and then I have 5 whole days off as well from the 23rd, so I'm going to very much enjoy doing very little, relaxing, getting to do all my nice crafty stuff, sewing, baking, knitting, all that good stuff that fulfills me, and it balances out in the end. I really enjoyed having those homemade Greek cookies as well when I got back to the office. So while I was sitting and catching up on all the texts and voicemails and things, I got to have a nice cup of tea and some biscuits, and that definitely made the time much more pleasant before I headed home. So I am home, time to relax, time to open my advent calendars. I'll start with the Fabric Godmother. The 21st is down here. My sewing tip is use a piece of washi tape on your sewing machine to note the needle you are using. Okay. This is fun. Okay, I don't know if everyone who is getting this calendar is going to realize what this is. This is washi tape that is the same design as one of the Fabric Godmother prints. I'm very familiar with it because I made a dress out of this print. I made the M7969 with the viscose in this print. And now I have matching tape? Oh my gosh. That's super fun. That's a really fun one. All right, Kusmi tea now. So many open doors. Spotting the closed door is the hardest part. 21st is down here. Now this one, I actually know this one. Cucumber mint green tea. It's cucumber and mint flavored green tea. When I ordered my advent calendar, you were able to throw in some free samples. So they gave me a handful, I think there's maybe 3 of tea bags, individually wrapped tea bags, just as kind of a bonus. And I got this one, and I really liked this one. I wasn't sure on the cucumber. I know I like mint, and mint green tea sounded good, but the cucumber, it is really light, seriously refreshing. I am happy to have another one of these, and I think this is one that I will be wanting to get more of at some point. I did manage to get a little bit of knitting done on my next sock last night. So I've gotten to the point where I've separated for the toe. So I've started the same color that's this cuff is going to be on the toe. And then I'm doing the afterthought heel again. So I'm going to then go in and pick up some stitches and create a heel. But I think it's looking really good. I'm generally really pleased with the progress. I feel like it's coming out well. I guess I should maybe hold it this way because this is the top of the sock. That's the way that it's going to look. Cute, right? This one did take me that little bit longer just because of the knitting pattern, needing to pay attention a little bit more closely, but I think it's going to be absolutely perfect for my tree. My husband and I had to come out to pick up an ingredient for dinner, and I thought this actually seemed like a good opportunity to go and look at some Christmas lights. There was a road near us that just went to town last year with their Christmas lights, and we haven't been able to go and see it yet because between the rain and between being super, super cold, it was just not appealing. But tonight seems like the night for it. Well, that was so worth it. There was even some music playing at some point. We definitely heard some horns. I think there was some people singing. I don't think it'll come across in the video, but that is the most Christmassy road in our neighborhood, and they are definitely doing their part this year. It is good to be home. It is good to not have to go out anymore. I have to say I was not hugely excited when I realized that we had to go out because we were missing an ingredient for dinner. But I'm really glad that we decided to take a little walk around and check out some of the Christmas lights, because I feel like it's so easy to miss those things and to not take an opportunity to do those things, especially when it's been cold and rainy. It just doesn't seem very appealing to go out. But it was really worth it, and I'm so glad that we did. And while we were in the supermarket, I picked up one of these Reese's peanut butter trees. I get one of these every Christmas. I feel like they're not the best ratio of peanut butter to chocolate, but I kind of like having it just once a year. There's something about them. So I'm gonna treat myself to that while I wind down before getting to bed. We're gonna be watching Veep tonight. We've been re-watching Veep. We had watched it a little while ago, and I tell you, it does not get less relevant with the politics as the way things have been, both in the UK and in the US. It's a funny one, and I think it's actually funnier on rewatch than it was the first time round. We're gonna do that and then get ourselves to bed, and I will be checking in with you guys again in the morning. Bye. Morning guys, it's the 22nd of December, which means it is my final work day before Christmas. I am doing an antenatal clinic today, which means I'll be seeing pregnant women at different stages of their pregnancy all throughout my day. I've got a full clinic booked from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm getting in for 8, which means I have an hour to get myself organized, see who's coming for the day, and then at the end of the day, when my clinic finishes at 5, I've got my nice extra hour at the end to tie up any loose ends, send off any referrals, and feel ready to then be off for 5 full days. I'm really excited to get to the other end of the day. I will say I really do like my antenatal clinic days because I tend to see the same women, so it's nice just to have a catch up and see how they're doing. I also like that when I'm doing a clinic, all I'm doing is my clinic. Nobody can ask me to see any more patients or manage any phones because I've got a full clinic of women coming to see me. So it's quite nice to just get in, know what my day is going to be, and just work through it. I had gone really back and forth this morning on whether to drive into work or whether to take public transportation. I usually do take the tube on a clinic day because I don't need to be going around and about as much. I just need to get into work and then go home again. But the public transportation has been really terrible lately. I have been feeling like on the borderline of maybe I might be getting a bit of a cold. I feel it more like first thing in the morning and last thing at night, just a little bit in my throat. Not anything significant, but I just feel like I want to make sure that I'm looking after myself as best I can so that I'm not going to end up getting sick for Christmas. So I'm going to be drinking lots of fluids. I let myself sleep a little bit longer because my body was willing to let me sleep a little bit longer today. So hopefully that will help me as well. But yeah, I think I didn't really just want to be waiting outside for a train to come. And the way things have been lately on my train journey, I'm often having to wait a good 25 minutes for the train, which is not cool when you're feeling like you might be catching a cold. I will say that traffic was so minimal today. I think people are probably just finishing up early for Christmas. Please ignore the honks behind me. People are apparently impatient and they want to get somewhere. I'm parked up, as I'm sure you can imagine. I got to work super early because there was zero traffic and the office isn't open yet, so I thought I would just say a quick hello before I go in. I do have to say, I feel like traffic has been pretty good over the last couple of days. It hasn't been a ton of traffic, but people are driving like nutty. It's not been normal around here. I think there are probably people who are maybe a bit more stressed out, a bit panicky. I feel like there've got to be people coming into London. They don't come into London that often. There's just been a lot of weird decision making when there's people just like stopping in the middle of the road or just changing lanes with no indication, no time to react. You're just like, whoa, okay, apparently you're cutting in front of me now. It's just been a little bit weird and a little bit stressful being on the road at the moment in London because, yeah, people just seem to be driving a bit crazy. I've also been seeing a lot more cars on the motorway, just on the side of the road with, I don't know if their car's broken down, if there's been some kind of an accident. I feel like it's all related. So I think I'm going to appreciate getting out of London today, out into the suburbs at the end of my workday, and just staying out there. I'm not saying that there aren't crazy drivers out there, but I feel like London right now, it's not that full of drivers, but the ones that are here just seem a bit off. So I'm going to be extra cautious like I have been recently because there's no other way to do it, and get myself home on the other end. I probably won't have a lot to show you today because I'm literally just going to be sitting in one room seeing patient after patient, but I will catch up with you on the other side. I was fortunate enough to have a cancellation in my clinic, so I was able to make myself a cup of tea and grab myself a couple of biscuits. I will say this time of year is quite dangerous in our profession. We get given so many chocolates and biscuits. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying temptation is always just there waiting for you. But I'm going to enjoy having a couple of biscuits and a cup of tea while I catch up on all of my paperwork from the morning. I am free! Finished my work day. It was actually a really nice clinic because I did know quite a few of the women that I was seeing that I'd seen earlier in this pregnancy, but there were even a couple of women that I hadn't seen in this pregnancy, but I'd seen in a previous pregnancy, which is just one of my favorite things. It was so nice to get to see them again after years of looking after them previously. But it was overall really good clinic, felt like a good end to my work week, and I am ready now to be free and enjoy my lovely time off leading up to Christmas. Home sweet home, guys. It is definitely a good feeling to know that I am off now for a whole 5 days. I want to get right onto my advent calendars because I've been waiting, and I think the other ones I'm going to open on the sooner side in the daytime because I hate waiting all day. Fabric Godmother first. 22nd is over here. My sewing tip is wind 2 bobbins full of thread before you start your sewing project. I do usually do that. Occasionally there's something I know won't take 2 bobbins, but if it will, and it usually does, I will wind 2 at the beginning. Wow, Merchant and Mills. 1 dozen easy thread needles assortment. Merchant and Mills do some really beautiful products. I've never had their needles before. You can genuinely never have too many hand sewing needles. And I love that these come in an assorted size. I've never used easy thread needles. I get the concept. I don't know why I've never bothered. I think because I generally don't have too much of an issue threading needles. Occasionally, if it's like quite a thick thread. There's a slit at the top so you can just pull the thread down into it. I mean, it's a very clever concept, and I'm sure it will work really well. And I'm sure, knowing Merchant and Mills, these are going to be really nice quality. I have some quite fine ones, which I really like, but you don't always want a fine needle. So, very nice. I don't think Merchant and Mills needles are very cheap either. I think they're pretty expensive. So, that is a big bonus to get in my advent calendar. All right. Kusmi tea. 22nd is up here. Caffeine free, a rooibos one, vanilla rooibos, vanilla flavored herbal tea. I've been kind of enjoying the rooibos tea recently. Maybe I've just been kind of not realizing what it has to offer. I've been enjoying the Christmas rooibos tea that somebody got for work, so I'm very willing to give that one a go. I don't think there's going to be too much else going on tonight. What I do want to do is take some cookies out of the freezer. So tomorrow I am getting right onto it with the Christmas baking. My Christmas baking game is going to be ramped up a notch. I'm going to take my gingerbread cookies out of the freezer to ice them tomorrow. I'm also planning to do a bit more cookie baking tomorrow. So the process is happening, and I need to be on it to remember to defrost the cookies in time that I can then do what I want with them. But I think I'm on track. It's been a busy couple of days at work, so there hasn't been a ton to show you guys outside of work, but I think the next couple of days will be fun ones. I'll check in with you then. Bye!